What's good, TikTok? Listen, I'm gonna be quick, brief, and short. Whatever you do, don't buy a Tesla. Elon Musk have dropped the value of Tesla tremendously. A new Tesla now is like $30-something thousand. Just a year ago, Tesla was up to about 58, 60-something $1,000. I'm in my Tesla now. I just left the dealership. I paid $60-something thousand for my Tesla. They just offered me $17,000 because Elon Musk keep bringing the prices down. And he's still bringing the prices down. Just like Tuesday or some shit, he dropped the price again. He don't care because it's not going straight through Tesla. You hear me? Like it's going through dealerships outside of Tesla. So it don't make him no never mind. Do not buy a Tesla. It's the worst investment that you can make right now. Hear me out. From a Tesla user, from a Tesla owner, do not buy a Tesla.
So I'm one of these guys, when I buy a car, I keep it for a long time, or at least that's the goal. But I see where he's coming from. Today's video is about people's gripes with owning an electric car.
I saw a video about the price of Tesla and how much it costs to charge it. And then I was like looking at these videos where people were talking about using different adapters and things when you are charging it to charge it faster. And it reminded me of the iPhone. You start with one charger, then you have an adapter, then you have a different charger. You have to constantly keep upgrading in order to keep up with just using it. Things that used to be free are now expensive or you have to pay for, like the chargers no longer being in the box. And they get away with these things because once you're in, you're in. Yeah. And you literally either sell your car or you adapt with these little small changes that over time are going to cost you a lot of money. And how if you don't have a charging port at home, there's really no point. I'm really not one to talk about these kinds of things, but it just was really interesting to me. And I feel like in LA, you can have a lot of like car fever for certain kind of cars, especially Teslas. But it's never really been strong on my list, and I think it's definitely still not getting on the list, but it was getting close. It was getting close. Thank God I saw these videos because I was going to probably start Googling.
So before you start Googling, a lot of people talk about how once they get the battery, it only charges up to like 80%. But the scariest story I ever heard was this guy that was an Uber driver with his Tesla vehicle. And he said it was perfect. It was the best vehicle ever. And when it got to 125,000 miles, it just instantly like stopped working well. And he said he didn't feel like the car just all of a sudden broke down. He felt like some sort of download made the car like not good at that point. When we buy cars, we kind of hope in the back of our mind that it'll last 2, 3, 400,000 miles. Wouldn't it be crappy if you found out that your car is just not going to have proper downloadings and uploadings to go beyond 125 to 150,000 miles? Now, I hope this isn't true, and I hope that these cars can go 300,000 miles, because that would suck otherwise.
One thing that they do not tell you is that the charging network is lacking, which means that you're not going to find a charging network on every single corner. And when you do, 25 to 40% of them are going to be offline. What does that mean for you? That means you'll probably wait anywhere from 45 minutes to maybe an hour and a half for available charging station.
So let's be honest, if you're in a rush and all of a sudden you have to charge, you're not going to want to sit there for 45 minutes. And aren't you kind of locked in the vehicle while it is charging? I think I saw a Tesla owner say they were locked in the vehicle while charging, which wouldn't be fun either. I don't think I would want to get an electric car probably for that reason. If you're like me and you agree that if you have to wait that long to charge your vehicle, it's just not worth it. Because we know in the future you'll be able to charge much faster than that. Oh, and by the way, in case you're wondering, I don't want to wait 10 or 15 minutes either. I want like something that happens in 4 or 5 minutes. Like, normally once you pay for your gas, it usually only takes you 2 or 3 minutes to pump that bad boy, unless you've got a huge gas tank.
Listen to me and listen to me real good. Do not buy an electric car
Why?
if you a girl or a guy that's on the move a lot. You got stuff to do, because when you got to charge your car, you have to charge your car. And it's going to take time out of your day. It's going to take time out of your day.
So here's the good news. if you can get by the charging aspect and stay on top of it, because it sounds like these people probably forgot to charge their car and then had to do it to the point where it's going to take them forever to charge it. If you can stay on top of it and it doesn't bother you, it sounds to me like that's the only major issue that people are having, at least the ones that I hear. I don't hear very many issues other than this charging one.
So do not buy an electric car if you're a busybody, or if you live in a big city where you going from one side of town to the other. Now, if you live in a small city, you don't really do too much, like you go to work, go home, or you go to school and go home, that's cool.
Yeah.
But if you like to go to happy hour, you like to go to work, go home, go to your little boo house, go to Target 3-4 times a week, an electric car is not going to work for you in your lifestyle.
You know, that is true. When I was younger, and I think we all went through this when we were in our 20s, sometimes plans change, right? You meet up at a buddy's house, you end up staying there to party, and before you know it, you decide, hey, I'm just going to crash here tonight. And I think everybody's had that situation where you end up crashing at your friend's house. Seems to me like if you have an electric car, that can become a real sticky situation, but maybe I'm wrong. No, I'm not wrong, am I? I bet that sucks. Uh, what if you only have like $2 on you? Oh yeah, you don't need cash for the charger. Forget I said it. What are you gonna get? $2 worth of gas? Yes, I've done that before.
This is a PSA for anybody considering getting an electric vehicle.
Don't.
Don't. Just don't. That's all I can say. Dumbest shit I've ever done. Worst decision I've ever made. Be $1,500 a month for a car that I can't drive because I'm never fucking charged. Because this is modern day Hunger Games. This is Hunger Games. You have to wait for 2 hours to get a charge. People are quite literally fighting at chargers. They're always broken. The infrastructure for these cars is non-existent. I would rather pay $200 for a tank of gas than to ever have to waste my time doing what I'm doing right now. I want to file a class action. Suing everybody. Electrify America, ChargePoint, Mercedes. Give me gas. Let's go back to the normal times. Don't get electric.
So she brought up another thing. Sometimes I guess the nozzles and the chargers at the charging stations are messed up. A guy a couple videos back said that 25 to 40% of the charging stations aren't even on. Could you imagine you make it to a charging station and it doesn't even work? That would be infuriating. And what do? Do you have to get like a tow if you don't get charged in time? Well, yeah, Jesse, what are you going to do? They ought to have it where you can put a little gas in it. That would be a hybrid, Jesse. Okay, fuck.
This is one of the biggest flaws when it comes to owning an EV. This is crazy. Again, this is the problem with EVs during the winter. I'm at 82%. I was at 100% when I started. Now I'm at 82. I only have 160 miles of range. I started with 210 miles of range. I only went 25 miles. It's been 32 minutes, 30-ish minutes. I'm averaging only 2.1 kilowatts per hour. And I've already used 20% of it was because of my climate. And I'm not even on 80. So how are you going to live in a colder climate with an EV? Because if you need the four-wheel drive, right, or the all-wheel drive, that's going to add drag. That's going to diminish your range. If you use the heat, any of the climate control settings, right, how are you going to defrost your windshield in the morning? If you do that, it's going to zap your battery. And we keep pushing this narrative that EVs are so green, but averaging 2.1 kilowatts per hour, that is atrocious. And depending on what state you live in, imagine if you lived in West Virginia, you're going to be burning coal to charge your electric car.
I think he brings up some really good points. If you get stuck in the snow, you have to kick it into four-wheel drive. That's gonna drain the battery even more. While it's cold, you're gonna have to keep your heater on. That's gonna drain the battery even more. You're gonna get to the point where you got a 30-minute drive. That would totally suck, wouldn't it? Hey, how much do we get today? 30 minutes. That's what's going to happen in the future. In the future, they're going to say, hey, there's too many people on the roads. So here's your allotment of energy for today. And it's going to be 30 minutes to drive. They're going to force us to walk to work in the future. There is no jobs in the future. Thank goodness.
I just turned in my EV and I switched back to a gas vehicle, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, the depreciation value of these cars is ridiculous because they just don't hold their value like you expected, and they're crazy expensive. And then to go in and find out that your car is worth like $10,000 less than what you still owe, that in itself is like not a good thing. Number two, it doesn't do well on long trips, which I know, I mean, I kind of knew that going into it, but I literally watched our battery in a 2-year time frame deplete from 300 miles when we first got the car. It said it could go 300 miles on one charge, to a full charge now is 270. So in 2 years, it literally depleted like 20 or 30 miles off of the battery life off of a full charge. And no, I didn't actually get that much like mileage because it changes based on how you're driving, if you're going uphill, downhill, like all these things. So I never actually got 270 miles out of one charge. Number three.
And I bet when you're driving like from state to state, that 270 miles really adds up quick. So if you have to plan some sort of 30 to 45-minute charge in the middle, that would be a real bummer. If you have multiple cars, that's where you have to just go with the gas.
We have a charger at our house, and so we would charge our car before we had to go places. However, anytime we traveled like up to Seattle or whatever, we'd have to go to charging stations. And the problem with charging stations is there's really not that many in the areas that I was going. And the second part is you still have to pay like you would gas, right? The problem is you don't get to go as far on one charge. So I was spending about $25 to $30 for a full charge, and then I'd still have to charge it again. So like just to go to Seattle, it would literally have cost us about $45 just to be there, and then we'd have to charge on the way home too. Whereas like a tank of gas wouldn't even have taken a tank of gas to get there and back.
See, that's what blows me away. Remember when they first came out, they were saying, hey, these are going to blow away gas from the standpoint of price per mile. And now you come to find out that that's not true at all. It sounds to me like these really cool cars, because they are really, really overhyped. And you know that silentness about the cars that everybody loves? That makes it more dangerous for pedestrians. We've always had situations where cars whip around corners and run over little children in the streets, right? Well, if all of a sudden every vehicle is silent, there's probably going to be even more of that.
In theory, the electric vehicles are great. And if you have like a way to charge it at home, and if you have one gas powered vehicle at your house for long trips, it's fine. But what really made me go back to gas vehicle was the fact that when we went to start looking at cars, because we were leasing, we were leasing, to find out that our car had depreciated so much that no matter what we would do, we were going to be flipped upside down by $10,000. It just completely it blew my mind. So this is not to hate on electric vehicles. This is to be realistic about it. Oh, and don't forget that when you renew your tabs on your vehicle, where I live, there was an extra $400 charge because it was an electric vehicle, to offset the fact that I didn't pay gas tax.
That's lame.
With that is you're estimating how much I drive and having me pay this amount of money when I didn't drive that car very often because we used it for local driving, and pretty much that was it. And I've seen some places where it's literally $800 extra just because you have a electric vehicle.
I feel like they always have to get you in one way or another. When you register your car each year, it's already expensive as hell if you've got a newer model car. If they're throwing those extra charges on top of things, my God, that does suck. Oh, well, wait, hold on. Maybe I'm looking at it wrong. I look at registration as synonymous for when you go get your emission testing. But correct me if I'm wrong, if you have an electric vehicle, you probably don't even have to get the emission testing, right? So you just pay for your registration. So yeah, it's the least you can do. Pay that $400.
Is it just me? Is anyone else embarrassed by this? Did anyone else buy their car 2 or 3 years ago and now they're embarrassed that you're kind of stuck and you have to drive it around in embarrassment? Because I am. I'm kind of embarrassed. I'm grateful that I have a car and I don't have to pay for gas, but I'm embarrassed to drive it. Like, if people want to cut me off or, like, not let me in, I kind of almost am like, yeah, I get it. I get it. Please tell me I'm not the only one that bought a Tesla and now is, like, totally regretting it.
Okay. Oh, so it's showing that the trunk is open. And why is it called a frunk on the front end? See how it says open frunk? Oh, it's probably too small for you guys to see. So anyway, it thinks that the trunk is open. So I don't know what that means. Does that mean that you can't play the stereo or anything while it's open? Earlier, I saw a video where a woman's car, the back seat was like folded over halfway, and she said that literally you could not push it up to normal. That would be annoying as hell. Like, did they really have to make that part electric too?
Oh my god. I just have to tell y'all how much I hate this car. Do not buy a Tesla. I don't care how cute the roof looks. I know it gives you the best natural light ever, but do not buy a Tesla. There's literally nowhere to put your phone in this car. Like, where am I supposed to put my phone? Hold on. First of all, I was gaslit into getting this car because I had no idea that I had to charge it. Like, what? Like, it's like a phone. I just got the car last month and I want to sell it. Like, if you want to buy this Tesla, let me know. First of all, it was the best car buying experience I have ever had. I purchased the car through the app. It took me 1 week to take delivery of my car. It was the most horrific, seamless experience of my life. And then, don't get me started on the self-driving feature, okay? Because all I have to do is press this button on my steering wheel, and the car will literally drive me from point A to point B, stopping at stop signs, stopping for pedestrians. Bitch, the car even pauses for speed bumps.
Okay, so obviously she loves her vehicle because she hasn't had any problems yet. I think everybody that was complaining probably loved their vehicle for the same reason she did, right? And by the way, she kind of explained it the best. It really is like your own chauffeur. So if you buy that self-driving ability, right? That's the reason you purchase the car, and then you lean back and fall asleep like people do. I guess you could say you literally got a chauffeur. It's kind of like you're driving on artificial intelligence. That's kind of neat, I suppose. But I bet you she's not going to feel perfect about it in another couple years. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed watching tonight's videos. Come back again tomorrow. We'll watch some more videos together. Have a good night. Make sure you hit subscribe.